Hi, my name is Tamara Dennis, and I'm going to be working on my journal today. We're just going to do a quick layout using Dylusion Sprays, and not really sure what else we'll be doing, but we're just going to have some fun today. And what I've started with is I've taken a silk flower, and I've just taken the flower apart, and I've used a little bit of masking tape to attach it to my book. Oh, let me turn the light on 1 second. So I've got that attached to my book, and now we're just going to go ahead and use some of the sprays. This one is the lemon zest, so I will go ahead and spray some of that. I've also protected my book with some daily paper, and we will just give this a shot. So we're just spraying, and we'll use also this is the cut grass. We'll just add a little bit of this. Oh, I like those colors together. Okay, and we'll go ahead and I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to dry, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got that dry. So what I'm going to do now, because dilutions will actually reactivate with water, what I like to do is, I know you can spray them, but I do like putting matte medium over them. They'll kind of spread a little bit sometimes when you're actually using your brush, but I just like the color that it gives. It brightens that quite a bit. So we're just gonna, as you can see, it does move them around, and I'm okay with that because I love the bright color. And we're going to be layering more over on the top of this, but you still see quite a bit of the original floral underneath. So like in this area, I just think that looks really cool. So we'll go ahead and do this side. And if you want, you can spray them. I don't think they give the bright colors that you get when you put a matte medium over the top. So we've got that brushed on, and I don't mind that it smears. I really like that look myself. I do this quite a bit. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to stop the video again, and I will go ahead and dry this. I was going to show you. You can still see the flowers underneath. So to me, it's starting to give it quite a bit of depth. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we are dry. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is using a script stamp and Stays On. I'm using Timber Brown. And let's just go ahead and just put a little bit of text in the background. And we don't care if it is perfect. In fact, we don't want perfection. We just want it kind of sporadic on here, just so that we get a little bit of text on there. Okay, so now that we've got the text on, I think what we may do is add a little bit more with our, I don't know, what do you think? I am kind of feeling this. I really do like this. It's a brand new one that I just got in. So let's go ahead and add this. And let's do a white. I'm going to stop this and get my stuff out, and I'll be... Okay, so I've got some white paint. Ooh, it's got a little bit of purple on it. But we'll just go ahead and get some of this added on. I just want to get a little bit more depth going on in here, just so it's not quite so one-dimensional. Oh, kind of like that. And we'll just go ahead and add a little bit more down here. We really are just playing with this. Yeah, I'll be honest, it's not quite what I had hoped for, but it's not bad. Okay, so what I want to do is get a little bit more onto the other side as well. So let's just pick this up, because I think what I might do is actually put one of my angels over here is what we might be doing. And maybe a couple of hearts or something. I just want to drag in some white. Muddy it up a little bit. Ooh, got some pink on that as well. Extra little bit of purple. I don't mind it. Sometimes I mind, sometimes I don't. I think you just play with it. One thing that's so nice is you can just cover stuff up and start over if you need. Okay, so I do kind of like where we're headed with this. In fact, I kind of like smearing this up a little bit more. I do like that. Okay, so we're starting to get layers. You can still see our flower down here. You can still see some of the floral back behind. And now we've layered a little bit of white over the top. And what I really like is that the white is starting to soften as the colors are starting to seep through. If you saw it in person, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's no longer bright white. Camera still picks it up as pretty white, but I'm starting to see a lot of the brown text come through. And it's really starting to add a lot of depth to it. And it's really starting to look pretty cool. Not sure what we might do next. You know what we could do is, how about a couple of hearts? And let's see. The angel I was talking about was doing something over here with her. And we could repeat the music pattern in her wings. Maybe we'll do that. But I know that I need more color in here, so these, I think we will do those either red or maybe a really pretty purple. Kind of liking this idea. So let me go ahead and turn this off. I'll glue everything down and I'll be okay. So we're back. As you can see, I did make a few other changes. I went ahead and I've got, my hands are a mess. I went ahead and I glued on the angel and I've got the hearts glued down. But when I did that, I happened to go over to grab something and I saw this. It's a napkin and I thought it was perfect color scheme. So I went ahead and I added that in. So now that I've got this in, we are going to put some white on that and try to tone it down a little bit because it is really bright. But I also found the paints that will match this color scheme. So I think what I'll do is I'll paint the hearts a base of this lavender purple color. It's a lilac, deep lilac, and then add grape as shadow, and then we'll highlight with the white. We're also going to add white onto the leaves here, or the wings here, and probably do some scraping on here with a credit card, get some whites back into here, move some of our color around the pages, and you know, try to tone it down just a little bit. I do like it, but I might do a little bit of a glaze on there. So probably the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get these two base coated and do some white on here. And instead of you watching me base coat in, why don't I go ahead and do that, and then I will be right back. Okay, so what I've done is I've base coated in the hearts. And it's more of a glaze, as you can tell. You can see straight through. I really like seeing everything underneath as well. And then I did add a little bit of glazing. This was so clear. I mean, you could see straight through it. I wanted to add a little bit more dimension. So I did add a little bit of a glazing that really was sort of in the same color scheme as some of the other parts of this napkin. And then I went ahead and I put a little bit of white glazing over here. I'm thinking I may add a little bit of sparkle somehow. I will look to see what I have to kind of put on the wings. And I think I'll just do some cheeks. I don't even know if I'll put eyes on her. And then we'll outline this one in a pen. I think next step will be to either brayer over some of this to tone it down or to scrape. I'm not really sure which way I'm going to go. And then I'm also going to add in some depth on the hearts using this color, which really matches the coloring on the napkin. if I'm putting the purple on this side, I'll also want to make sure that I move some of this paint around. So I'll probably do a little bit of scraping, or I use my hands a lot, put a little bit of the color maybe on the side here. Same thing with this green that I've used here. I will add some touches of it around the page. I think for me that adds a little bit of consistency for the painting. It doesn't look as though you just have this color out of nowhere, because it doesn't exactly match the other colors, so I would like to move that around the page a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I know I keep stopping and starting, but I think if I explain what I'm going to do and then go ahead and apply the paint and then come back, I think it's, for me anyway, when I'm watching a video, I really don't want to watch somebody glue stuff on and base coat. I really just want to get to the next step. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this again. I will add the depth in here. I'm just going to probably float some color around using my brush, scrape some in, get some depth in here, and then I'll see what I have for something a little glittery on here, and then I may come back and brayer on camera. So I'll put this back on pause, and I will be right back.